rude in Cuenca, Ecuador. First of all, don't scream at the clerks. A way around that is don't expect customer service. It doesn't exist very much here. Some of the stores that cater to gringos, it's better, but typically they're there to give you something and you're there to pay them and that's it. And anything beyond that, it's not going to happen. And if you get upset with them, they shut down. So it'll actually work against you. So there's no point. Smile, get over it, deal with it, fill them with kindness, and that might work. Don't declare that you're going to have their job. First of all, that's rude, and we're talking about how not to be rude. And second of all, you don't really want their job. Their minimum wage, which is most of the people you're going to run into, particularly clerks in the store, is just over $3. So you're not going to have their job. Stop shouting in restaurants. Use your inside voice. You don't need to talk like this. Talk like this. It's considered to be rude to be loud. Stop bragging about your money. First of all, nobody really cares. Locals aren't impressed. They're rather disgusted. They don't see it as something virtuous that you have a lot of money. They see it as crass. So if you came here, you probably have some kind of money, and people realize that, and nobody really cares. The only one who's going to care about that is you. So, go back to your apartment, walk into your closet, shut the door, and scream to yourself about how much money you have. Other than that, keep it to yourself. Don't poison the dogs. I realize it's an epidemic problem. Everybody realizes it. And here people just, the dogs are so cute and they get away with everything and nobody disciplines their dog and they come and go as they want, and they get into your trash and bark and nobody really cares and nobody's going to do anything. But if you're talking about a dog and a dog did something, you're just going to hear, oh, pobrecito. The poor little doggies. They're not going to be angry with the dogs. So if you go around poisoning the dogs, you're just going to get people upset. There's liable to be burning torches, pitchforks, and a lynch mob at your door. You just have to cope with it. Or don't live in town, move out a little bit. Don't rip apart the USA all the time. It's great when you come here that you want to love the place and admire things about it and the society, the people. That's all good and great. But there's bad everywhere. There's good everywhere. I've been to China. There's good in China. There's bad in China. The United States isn't any different. The United States is a wonderful country. There are things about the United States you won't find anywhere in the world. Ecuador is a wonderful country, and there's things in Ecuador you won't find anywhere in the world. They're both great places. They both have issues. So, coming here trying to impress particularly local people with how much you have disdain for the United States doesn't impress them. It doesn't make them feel that, then you're one of them. It isn't like that. All people see when you do that is you're essentially a traitorous kind of person and maybe you shouldn't be trusted. Most people in Ecuador have a fondness for the United States. A lot of people in Ecuador go to the United States. Almost everybody you meet is going to have friends or family that have been or are in the United States. So going around trashing the country that they think is a good country is ridiculous. And also, Korea may have issues with the United States because he wants to pretend he's the next Fidel Castro, and he wants to pretend that he's a socialist, even though he doesn't really act too much like a socialist, thank God. But the people of Ecuador admire the United States. The people of Ecuador kind of wish that we had more of an open door policy on both sides, that we were more of a partnership, that we had better relations. So there's quite a few people here that for some reason think it's cool to go around trashing the United States. You're just being an ass, and nobody appreciates it, except maybe other people like you that want to go around and trash the United States. Try not to be condescending to people of Ecuador. Now, people who have been here a while, you don't really see that. But people that come here, and maybe they haven't traveled much elsewhere, and they come here and it's like, oh, they're so cute, they're so quaint, look at their little customs, and I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I know it when I see it. They're not any better, they're not any worse. They're advanced in some areas, they're backwards in other areas. It's just different. It's not a good or bad thing, and it's not a you're above them, because in some ways they're above you. So drop the attitude, unless it's a good attitude. Positive attitudes are the word of the day. Here, that's what you're going to find in people, and people don't really have time or desire to get into politics and word games and who's better than who, and especially me, but local people, the ones that I know that I've met, they don't care about any of that stuff. It's more, let's go hang out and grab a beer and talk about the sports team or something. So those are some ways how not to be rude in Ecuador. See ya.
You know you could.